Hi, what's up guys, and welcome to Creepy Forest Part 3. So, me and Andy have now gone on separate vigils. You need to really watch Creepy Forest Part 1 and Creepy Forest Part 2 to see how scary this place really is. And just to see what evidence already we've got. We've had some negative stuff coming through in the woods down there. So Andy set off down the path into the woods, and I'm going to go along the top path and meet him from the other side. And all I'm going to say is, if I ever brought an album out, I would call it Now That's What I Call Scary. So let's go and take a walk. We've already heard a blood-curdling scream. It sounded like a female in distress. But we've had a good look around and there is nobody but us up here. There's the road back there, but we're moving away from that in a minute. There's a couple of farms in the distance. So let's go, and I shall tell you a little bit about this area whilst we're walking. Okay, so the torch you see down there in the distance, that's Andy. He's set off now on his vigil, and I'm going to go this way. So we're going separate opposite directions, but we're in a circular route so we can meet up at the other side. So we're in Winter Hill, and I always show the television mast in relation to where we are. And I think on the top there someone's having a bonfire because it's bonfire night week, so yeah, it looks like one of the farms is perhaps having a fire and some fireworks there, which normally these farms all do have like bonfires. People can go if they want to. It's pretty popular for that up here. So whilst we're walking along, I'll tell you a little bit of the stories around here. They have seen an apparition. Several people have seen a white apparition in those woods, which we're going to head into soon. And they're not quite sure who or what the apparition is. Some people think it's a woman. And we heard before on part 2 a blood-curdling sort of scream from up here somewhere. It sounded like a female in distress, and we was a bit concerned about it really. So when we switched off the cameras after part 2, we came for a walk up to have a look, but there was no sign of anybody being up here or anything like that. So we've took a little break, and now we're going separately to see if we can get any more paranormal things to happen to us tonight, because already in part 1, when we kicked off tonight's shoot at the bridge, it sounded like a group of young people who were maybe, I think possibly might have been in a car accident or something, because that road back there goes right through the hills, countryside. And it's pretty, I have to keep putting my torch that way that I can see where I'm walking. It's pretty lethal, to say the least. There has been a lot of bad accidents up there, so I'm thinking that the first part, Creepy Woods Part 1, the ghosts that we got on the bridge there might have been a group of kids that maybe got killed or got injured or whatever in a car. Then we went into the woods and we picked up a very negative character, which you really need to watch Creepy Woods Part 2 to get the full story on that. Very, very creepy, very sinister, very borderline murderer, I would say, possibly. But, I don't know if there's been any murders in these woods, or if there's even any bodies that haven't been found or anything like that yet. But there has been an apparition, most definitely seen. And there's also been one report of Dogman up here as well. So I always keep my ears open for anything unusual, besides just ghosts, paranormal and that kind of thing. So I'm going to shine the torch on the path so we don't fall down any gaping holes for a change. And I'll tell you a little more when we get to a active part, what I would call an active part. I'm going to run the spirit box and we'll see if we get anything. So come with me on this solo vigil. That's the Winter Hill television mast up there. A couple of farms dotted round. This actual path would be haunted anyway, because It's where the mines used to be up here, and this track that we're walking on right now. They used to come up here with horses and carts, you know, to take the workers up and to bring the quarried stone down. So this actual road itself goes back to 1800. It's very, very old. And I do think that you probably could pick up like a residual energy of maybe horses or people working or anything like that. But I want to get down into the woods because that's where the real activity is taking place. I'm approaching the woods from the other side. Andy's approaching the woods from one side. I'm approaching from the other side. He's going to do his paranormal and I'm going to do mine, and then at some point we're going to meet up in the middle. But I do believe that if you go separately and you conduct separate vigils, you have more chance of getting stuff coming through, or you're hearing stuff, activity. I think when there's two of you, sometimes you can be so cross-examining, you know, the stuff that you've seen and heard and talking, that you can actually, you know, like lose track and miss things that are happening around you. So I have with me my spirit guide Lewis, as always, my guardian angel, my guide, so I'm totally protected and safe. And he generally tells me if I'm going into an area that he's not happy me being there alone, so he will stop me if he feels it's not safe. And I have 100% trust and faith in my spirit guide, so I trust him to do his job. And right now he's happily letting me go along and down into the woods. I'd like you to, Lewis, actually go and stay with Andy because I think he might need more protection where he is right now. He's right in the area where we had this nasty, negative, evil person come through. If you watch Creepy Woods Part 1 and then Creepy Woods Part 2, he came through as like somebody who entices kids into the woods to molest them. That was the kind of story we were getting. But as we went on, the feel got darker and the messages got worse, and it just got really kind of nasty towards the end of part 2 because we were at the bottom end of the forest, which I'm heading to right now. And we seemed to get this person who wanted to, I think, physically hurt one of us. That's the feeling I was getting. But because we are so protected up, it ain't gonna be that easy to hurt us. But, you know, you've always got to keep extra vigilant when you're doing these paranormal things because we don't know everything. You know, you can be out there night after night for years on end and we don't know everything and we'll never know everything. So you've got to look out for yourself on every single thing that you do. You know, it's not to be messed with. It's to be taken, you know, seriously. And there has been some bad cases in the past. People messing about with things and ending up in situations they couldn't get out of and stuff like that. So I'm going to keep an eye open for the track that goes down into the woods, and when we get to the clearing where we were on part 2, I'll get the spirit box radio out and we'll see if we can get this guy to come through. A woman on her own in the forest might bring him forward. We shall see. But right now, just enjoy the ambience of the night. You know, it's a lovely night. Even though there's creepy ass ghosts waiting for us down in the woods. But the thing is, if you antagonise it, you know, and you're sort of poking, then it's like poking a wasp's nest, you know, you're going to get stung. So, and sometimes to get a reaction, you sometimes have to poke the nest a little. And I think me and Andy do tend to poke the nest, you know, we do get like a bit of retaliation coming back from certain spirits, but we only ever do that when it's negative ones. We don't do it with peaceful, good spirits. We wouldn't, you know, treat them in such manner. But if ever we come along negative ones, then yeah, you know, we're going to poke the nest, and we do risk sometimes what we're doing, but we're well protected, so I'm not too worried about it really. We've had long conversations on ghosts and spirits and what they're able to do, and I really don't think that a ghost can actually physically harm you or kill you. I do think that that is more kind of possessions that can be very dangerous. But actual apparitions and ghosts, yeah, they can scare the hell out of you. You know, they can make you feel really creepy and, you know, all kinds of bad feelings. But I don't believe for 1 minute that they can. That's not somebody shooting at me. That's actually fireworks going off. Not everybody likes this channel, so it could be somebody actually firing bullets at me right now. You missed. They missed. Maybe just warning shots. Alright, so I've got to find the entrance down. I think we're on a flat surface now, so I can risk talking to you in the camera now for a bit, because it's pitch black, and like, you know how good I am at falling into, like, you know, swamps and holes and everything else that can be fallen into. I'll just have to keep filming the ground then I don't end up, you know, spread eagle somewhere. Yeah, so what happened on Creepy Woods Part 1, we started on the bridge and we got this like group of spirits all shouting their names out and all trying to come forward at the same time with different messages. It got very hurried and jumbled. We did have a couple of warnings telling us not to go in the woods, so we said okay, and we went in the woods. And that's when we picked up on this real negative energy, which we got a story. Part 2, we continued with communication with this particular individual, and yeah, it wasn't pleasant, to say the least. So Andy is now back down that part of the forest on his own. That's what I was talking about when I said I am always the one that finds the swamp. And I'm going to meet him there soon, so let's carry on and let's get down into that woods. Sorry if it's a bit dark right now, guys, but as soon as we get down into the woods, the visibility should probably be a bit better down there, because right now I've only got the road to focus on. When we get down into the woods, there's the end of the woods coming up now, so we can't be that far off the entrance to it. And I think we'll start calling out now. So who was the person who did the blood curdling scream before? Are you a victim? That flash of light up there, I don't think it was a UFO landing. I'm pretty sure it's fireworks. It would be our luck, that, wouldn't it? We're right in the middle of a paranormal and then the aliens decide to descend. Yeah, so we heard a blood-curdling female shriek, but we hung around a little bit just in case it was people, you know, out for bonfire and messing about and all that, but there was nothing. There was absolutely nothing to follow it up. There was no people, you know, there was not people messing about like you expected to hear, so I don't know what that was. Alright, so we're going to descend into the woods now, and when we get down here we're going to run a spirit box exactly in the area where we've just had communication with this real negative entity, this negative person who, yeah, not very pleasant at all. The story we were getting in Creepy Woods Part 2 through the spirit box and everything was that he lured children into this forest, and he seemed to be quite proud of that. And you know, he seemed to be laughing and joking about how it's okay to... I'm bolted in now, so there's no way out. You know, it's like we've come face to face with a real, like, dangerous criminal in the spirit world. That's what it feels like. And the conversation, that torch over there, should be Andy. If it's not, then there's someone else in this woods tonight, but I'm thinking it's probably going to be him because he'll be roughly about there right now. Yeah, so anyway, this creepy guy, we got through that he was a criminal with murderous intentions and that he'd lured children into this forest, and we also picked up that he was a teacher at a school in this town, and he put it up to the 1970s. And as we were filming, we got this blood-curdling female scream which just freaked the hell out of us both, and we listened for a little while to see, and there was nothing forthcoming of it, so we carried on. When we got back to base, we had a look and listen out and have a good walk round, and there was nobody up here, so we thought, well, what the hell, you know, what was that? So I'm asking out for the murderous prisoner man. You know, I'm on my own now. I'm a woman on my own coming down to the forest where you like to antagonise and haunt and terrorise any people. And I already heard one blood-curdling scream. So perhaps you'd like to do something now to make me give that same blood-curdling scream. Or are you over there antagonising Andy? Come forward. You've already been with us twice tonight. Lure me down to the area. Because you were being, pardon my French guys, he was being a complete gobshite before with the messages. We got messages coming through that only can come from foul-mouthed, you know, negative, nefarious minded individuals. And we have never had them kinds of things coming through the spirit box before, but with this person we did get these things coming through. Right, so Andy's there. So we don't want to meet up with him too soon. So what I'm going to do, we're going to get the spirit talker out, the radio. That's my spirit talker. I like to keep it a little more old school myself. And what we'll do, switch my head torch off here. I'm going to put on the radio, and if this individual wants to come through, then now's his chance to come through. Okay. Alright, so you can start by telling us who you are, what your name is, and why. Why? You know? You want to cause this... Is he foreign? I'm getting a Spanish person here. Alright. Let's try and go between channels. Let's see if we get anything coming through. Who are you, please? What's your name? Oh, that was a bit deep, weren't it, that voice? What's your name, please? Come forward and give me some message. I'm Alison. And you know we were talking to you before. I'm getting bits of voices coming through, but not really anything definite I can recognise. What's your name? We'll start with that, shall we? The basics. Give me a message. I presume you don't like women and children. So what's your message? Something about changes. Give me some message like you gave before. Absolutely. Absolutely. You're agreeing you're going to give me some negative messages like before? Okay then. I'm Alison. What's your name, please? Oh, that was trying to scare me. Who was the lady who gave the blood-curdling scream before? Is it one of your victims? Richard? No, that's not the name we got on the Spirit Talker. The Spirit Talker said Dennis. So I was wondering if, I mean, that could have been a different spirit and then this one kind of barged in and took over. That can happen sometimes. Alright, so let's go again. What message do you have for me? I'm standing all alone here, in the middle, on the edge of the woods that you like to haunt. What message have you got for me? Anything. Say some of the stuff you were saying before. Nothing's making any sense. Not getting any sense. Alright, so what we're going to do, we're going to head down to the clearing area now, because I think Andy's just reached that area. And then we'll carry on a little bit of this box down there, because I think it's one of the, for me, it's an old school way of doing paranormal. It's an old school way of getting spirits through. It's what used to be used back in like the 70s and stuff like that. And like Andy likes to do all the high-tech, new modern day stuff that everybody's using, like Spirit Box, Spirit Talker and all that. For me, I like to stick with the old tried and tested methods. I think being brought up with a ghost hunter from the 1970s, that's influenced my style of ghost investigation. So I'll do a little bit more of that when we get down into the woods, back to that clearing where we can sit down and set up and properly do some investigation work. Okay, so let's carry on. I can see on this torch now, so he's making his way to the clearing in the woods, which is where we agreed to meet up. And then we can see if he's had anything more, because he's been around the really kind of what I would call the active bit of the woods. I mean, these woods during the day, they're like a nature reserve. They're really, really nice to come and walk through and visit. But at night, they take on a whole different creepy feel. You know, you're like, what the hell? It's totally different at night time. And if you see deers and you hear owls, you feel like quite comforted that you've got some company, there's some nature about you. I think when there's nothing and no sounds or anything, that it's a bit creepy, because you're just waiting for something to come out of the dark. But when you hear like animals and stuff, it's really, really comforting when you're out in the woods, forests. But I presume that's Andy, the torch over there. I think it will be. There isn't anybody else as far as I know up here, but if it is somebody else, they're all doing the same thing as we. And sometimes it's good to run into other paranormal investigators, because then you can compare the notes, you know, say, have you had this, what have you had, did you get anything, did you get any messages, any names? And if you sometimes are getting the same thing, then obviously it's a definite whatever apparition, or apparition is the only thing I've heard, which apparition to me says a white sheeted ghost, like the one we saw at Rufford Old Hall last week, where I nearly had a heart attack. But you have to watch Rufford Old apparition scene at Rufford Old Hall for that one. So the only thing is apparition and one dogman sighting in this particular woods, as far as we know. I'll head down to where we were working before. Let's just see if we can get anything at all to come forward. It turned very menacing before on the first two parts, which, you know, alright, menacing is good. You know, it creates a bit of an atmosphere and it makes you feel like you're really, really doing some definite paranormal when it gets a bit menacing like that. Oh, we've come to a bridge. I wonder if we could do a little bit here before we carry on and meet Andy, because we've got some more time left yet. I'll just set these torches up here. Alright. If you're on this bridge, come forward and show yourself to camera. Let's see an orb, let's hear you. Who was that lady that we heard before shrieking? Why were we hearing a lady shrieking here? One of your victims? Come forward and show yourself if you're here. Did you run into this woods to hide? Is that why you haunt it? Alright, let's carry on. I like to just go off sometimes my own instincts, you know, feelings and hearing things and seeing things with my eyes. Yeah, having the equipment's good, it's great, it really is, it's a good backup and all of that, but really I think I like to go off how a place feels, you know, if I see anything or if I hear anything. I like to use my own instincts in whether I'm outdoors in the forest or whether I'm in haunted buildings or abandoned buildings or whatever. It's, for me, that's how I work. And the old radio, it's an old method. You know, Andy prefers to use Spirit Talker. We all have our different ways of working. I think you just got to try everything you've got to your hands, you know, and just see. And if you're getting success with one piece of equipment, then stick with it. Some ghosts prefer one piece of equipment, some prefer another. I think it all depends, but this was particularly interesting, part 2, when we started to communicate with this guy. He said, oh, what does this equipment do? So Andy then went to explain what the equipment does. And the one that Andy's using right now, Spirit Talker, you can either have it as messages flashing up, or you can have it as like a voice box. And the message he got said switch to voice box, switch to sound. It was like a real intelligent conversation, but with a really dangerous person. That's the feeling I got from the messages that were coming through. And particularly when we heard that blood-curdling scream. I mean, I'm really hoping that we have got it on camera. Andy heard it, I heard it. So I'm pretty sure that we've picked it up, and I hope that you guys are going to be able to hear it too. Because if you get something like that, then you 100% know you've got something. That'll be Andy with the torch up there. So I think before we get back and meet up with Andy, I'm just gonna do a little bit here on our own first. Set up some torches. And then you guys can see a bit better, because it was very dark up there and I don't like giving you guys dark footage, you know. Sometimes the visibility in these places is just bad. It's really, really difficult. I'll get the radio back out. And we'll just ask out around this area, around here. Because we're in the edge of the woods, right here where we are. Andy's just back there, so he's obviously still conducting a paranormal, because I can see him walking back and through. So I won't interfere with what he's doing. And we'll get this radio back on. And do a bit more spirit box. Okay. So, are there any spirit people here with us who'd like to talk to us? Would like to say anything at all? Have we got the male who was present earlier? Where has this gone? Really weird. All of a sudden. Oh, it was working up there. Why ain't it working here? Alright, would you like to come through with a message at all? We're listening. Whatever you have to say. Forward. Hello? That sounded like a London Cockney accent, didn't it? Hello? Hello, I'm Alison. Who are you, please? What's your name? Or don't you want to give me a name? Because you were being so negative with us before?
You're not?
You're not. Not what? What am I not? It's gone really quiet, this radio, and do you know why I think why? Because we've come down into a dip. When we were up on the tops, we had a really good reception, and down here, there's like very little reception. I think that's why we're not being able to get so much the voices through, but we'll try one more time. Okay, so, what's your name, please? What's your name? At least you can tell me your name. Please tell me your name. I need to know who I'm speaking to. Or are you over there antagonising Andy? You seemed to enjoy antagonising him earlier on. He's shouting Andy. He's really shouting. It sounds like he's having a full-on argument with whoever he's contacted. We're not getting any messages through here. Do you know what I think? I think that he seems to be having a full conversation over there. Can you give me any message at all? What's going on over there with Andy? What's going on with him? Are you arguing? Are you back chatting? Come and back chat. Come and give me some crap. Or has he told you to stay away from me? Is that why you're not coming near me? Well, I'm inviting you to come forward and speak. Nothing. That's so weird. Because Andy's having a full-on flipping heated conversation over there with somebody or something. I'll switch this off because two things are happening here. Either one, we're getting a bad reception because we've come down from the tops, or two, because this guy is over with Andy right now because he seems to be having some sort of heated, discussion with somebody. I think what we'll do is we'll go over there and join in and see what's going on, because it seems to have gone quiet our side, and I'm thinking we've got spirits over there with him. Then that's why. So just bear with me. I'm going to get the head torch back on. So Andy's right over there in the woods. You can probably see his torch. So we're going to go over now and join him and see what he's getting, because the way he's pacing and all of that, I think there's something going on. Right, let's get back on the path. Let's get through the gates and then meet up. We've done 30 minutes solo vigil so far each, so let's... hope we don't scare the crap out of him now coming to... That wasn't prison bars. That was your missus. He'll probably freak out now. He's not seeing me. He's freaking out now. Do you get used to these bars, pal? These bars mean something to you. That door locking, the key being locked. You familiar with that, are you? Let's go and see what Andy's doing. It looks like we're getting the same kind of stuff we were getting before in the same area. You alright, Andy? So we didn't really get anything, so I presume he's been down here with you all this time.
Is that there?
Didn't really get anything at all. Can I just put the bike torch up there?
Yeah.
Because we can get some really good lighting if I put it.
I've had that on.
that EMF there.
Yeah.
Right?
What have you been getting?
And I put it there,
Yeah.
and I really, that never moved. I
Right.
was sat here, I didn't an EVP or anything like that. That was there.
Yeah.
I stood up, and it flashed to red.
Really?
And it was going and going and going. I
So-
sat back down, it went off. I stood up, it went there. I went over there. I said, "Are you stopping me from getting towards Alison?"
Really?
And it were like, yeah, every time. I bet it don't do it now. Whatever it is, it's gone.
Really?
I walked up here
Yeah.
and it was going off. It's not done it now.
That's just weird, isn't it?
But as soon, when I was sat down,
Yeah.
yeah,
We didn't really get anything, but I was just telling the guys what we got part 1 and part 2, and that you was down in the same area doing your bit.
but it was weird. Yeah.
Well, I ran the Spirit radio, but we got bits of voices coming through, but there weren't anything making any sense. Not like we were getting down here, like definite messages. Nothing.
No.
Probably because it sounds as though he wanted you on his own then.
Well, when I was sat here,
Yeah.
I weren't getting anything. I weren't. That wasn't going off right like that.
Yeah. We have been getting stuff down here though, haven't we? Do you know what I mean? It's like, it's the feeling of somebody touching you and stuff like that, I think, round here as well. Let's go switch that off, then I can film you. Is that alright?
You turn yours off and I can
Oh yeah, yeah.
film you.
We're off, yeah. Right, okay.
Yeah, I mean,
Alright, let's not do the thing with the camera because it gets a bit like everybody's filming each other.
yeah, I
So we
mean,
weren't going to do that.
no, I walked up,
Yeah.
did a bit on the bridge, not a lot there. I walked up a bit, and as I'm getting to the top of them steps there, I heard, I do hope it's picked up on camera, as though somebody was walking across the bridge.
Oh, really?
So that
Right.
freaked me a bit.
So I haven't seen anybody at all on the travels, so it can't have been anybody.
I'll look back.
It's standing on that tree stump.
That first bit where we stopped before, yeah, I got quite. It was going round, so I walked down.
Yeah.
I said, "Can you kind of hear your footsteps on that wooden path bit?"
Yeah.
I thought I heard some up there,
Okay.
but I
Right.
kept getting like, and I kept thought, "Is it my nose?"
That's flashing, look.
Yeah, he's back now. He's back now. He's back
So,
now.
why didn't you come and join me on the path when I was on my own then?
No, he was too busy here stopping me from.
That's what I thought. We
He was too
discussed it.
busy-
Well,
he was too busy here. I was sat here and it didn't move. I stood up and it went off. I sat back down, it stopped again. Yeah, I'm talking about you, you idiot.
it's going again, look.
Yeah.
So, that's what I thought. I thought it's probably because he's with you down here.
Yeah.
So we had a walk about and we didn't really pick anything up, to be
But
honest.
I was saying, if you think you're going to stop me from going over there to Alison, I'll send you no chance.
Nothing happened.
Yeah. But, and then it went really.
Yeah, look at it.
And then
It's
it stopped.
insane.
That's,
That's
what I
just
mean.
stuck in the ground. I mean,
When nobody's near it, there's no electric, there's
It's
no
just
nothing
mad.
there. Yeah, he wandered off when he obviously disappeared when you came over.
yeah.
But yeah, I stood up and it started going. I went over here and it started again.
Yeah.
And when I went to go over there, it literally, I've got it on camera
Oh,
anyway.
really?
Yeah, it literally, it was going crazy.
Right.
And I've got it all in here.
Yeah, good.
But yeah, it was though. It's not my nose. It was though somebody was, very nasally.
Oh, really?
A few times when I was coming down that path.
Yeah.
Might have been just me that I thought I heard somebody on that wooden bit. That could be just me. But I thought it was though somebody was walking across the bridge.
Oh,
So I
really?
looked back down and I flashed my camera because I thought, well, there's nobody there. So
And that's where we got all that spirit activity when we first started off
But
tonight,
yeah,
innit, in
but
part one.
when I heard that, yeah, I thought, I bet you can hear me out going on the camera because
God,
it's been
yeah,
going.
it can get, yeah.
So
Did it still feel tense through the woods as well, like it did first time round?
not as much, I don't think.
Yeah.
Not as much. But yeah, as soon as I stood up to go that way, that started lighting up.
Right.
And then when I sat back down,
Yeah.
it stopped. But when I stood up, it started again.
Yeah.
So I went that way, and it was like, and I sort of said, "Are you trying to stop me from filming Alison
Yeah.
or going towards her?" And it went really, really bad. And I went, "Well, you're not going to stop me. If I
Yeah.
want to go over there, I will go over there."
So I thought that perhaps he was staying with you and that's why we didn't get anything.
Yeah.
And I thought that maybe you'd said, if you go anywhere near Alison, then, do you know what I mean? And threatened him maybe somehow.
Yeah, I did.
Because I didn't have anything, nothing menacing,
Yeah.
nothing bad. Spooky, yeah, creepy, obviously, because you're telling all the ghost stories as you go around.
Yeah,
but
it was-
it's there wasn't anything that made me feel like I was in any dangerous situations or anything like that.
But like I said, it was creepy going through there.
Yeah, of course.
I admit it, and it was a bit. And you definitely get that sense that somebody's with you,
Yeah,
and I definitely got a sense of somebody was following but hiding.
yeah, yeah,
But yeah, that was weird because I was sat here for a good 10 minutes or so, and that never moved.
yeah,
And as soon as I just stood up like that,
yeah,
it started.
yeah.
And I thought, you don't want me going up there,
No.
you know. And it was,
Do you think he's still lounging on the bridge then, or do you feel that he's shifted from there?
I get the feeling that he's,
It seems to have faded now, doesn't it, that feeling?
I think he's,
That intense feeling we had when we first came in tonight.
yeah, it was,
It's faded a bit, that now. We were really scared, but when we heard that blood-curdling shoot, that...
I didn't hear that, but all I heard was like footsteps on the bridge,
Yeah.
that,
But the fact that we both heard that on part 2, wasn't it? And then
yeah, I mean,
that just made the whole night creepy then, because we walked round and round and round together and on our own, and there's nobody else up here but us two.
yeah, but that definitely, to me, I don't know, it was hard that was no animal.
No, it weren't an animal, it was a
sounded like
woman.
a woman.
Yeah, it did. I
It
thought
sounded
that.
like a woman.
It sounded like a woman shrieking, like a woman being attacked, is what it sounded like to
a woman
me.
going,
Yeah, I thought that. Yeah,
because we were in exactly the same place as we are now.
yeah, we were. Yeah,
And,
here, right here.
I keep on, people think.
You look like the devil there, Andy. Go on, light your beard up red. People love it. People love it when your beard, that's it. Very dark and menacing now,
Loves
that.
it on camera, that. It looks like I'm advertising.
The devil.
Hey, you don't want to be
What
honest,
do you mean red light? You're talking about a different kind of red light.
be honest with you, I don't want red lights seen in this woods because people will think.
Yeah, you might get the wrong kind of people coming.
I'm up for business.
They're not paranormal kind.
Yeah, I did feel like a burning sensation on my back.
Oh, really? So we need to
But
check
I
that
don't know
then.
whether that was. Oh,
Oh,
no, that's
it's going
interesting
now.
I've said
Yeah,
that.
what if you've been scratched? We won't know until we look at you, will we,
I don't
later?
know. It was like a burning sensation.
Yeah,
so
but people who get scratched have a burning
yeah,
sensation.
I don't know whether that.
We need to check our
Did you
bodies.
scratch me?
Did you scratch Andy?
If you scratch me, make them like
Oh, God, yeah, look. I'll just go closer so you guys can see. Look how much... Let's stop now. Why? It always does that when I come close with the camera. You don't want to be seen, do you? Well, you've been seen. It's too late for that.
Is this your problem? Is your problem the fact that you are scared of women?
Yeah, it might be, you know, because look, it's going off now.
You are scared of women?
Is that what it is? That's maybe why you wouldn't come near me when I was doing solo.
You're scared of women?
Yeah, I bet. Probably. Scared of me. Why? I'll always treat you how you treat me. If you treat me fairly, I'll treat you fairly. Yeah, you tend to find though, don't you, with a lot of men that victimise women and that they're scared of them. Actually, a lot of it
Is
comes.
that what it is?
A lot of it goes back to the motherhood, you know, the kind of mother that they have and stuff like that, don't it? They get like a sort of really strict mother. They can take it out on women later in life, can't they? And stuff. That's.
Did you scratch me?
Flicker the lights if you scratched, Andy.
If you scratch me,
Yeah,
like
it's
them,
flickering the lights. We'll have to check you later on and see if you've been scratched.
just to confirm this, if you scratch me, light those lights up.
Maybe as he's not admitting to it. Okay, so the solo vigils, guys.
Okay.
We'll go down the chute right there. The EMF meter is going off again. I'll show you that. You can see it in the background. You can see that right there. See it. Alright, so thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. But for this whole thing to make sense, you need to watch Creepy Forest Part 1, Creepy Forest Part 2, my vigil and Andy's vigil. And we'll see you very soon at the next haunted location. Take care, and thanks for subscribing, and thank you for watching.
Thank you.